The old space station floated alone in the darkness. No ships came here anymore. No signals reached this far into the void. The station was called Prometheus Echo, and everyone believed it was empty, dead, forgotten, but they were wrong. Kang Tae-min stood on the outer hull, his magnetic boots keeping him attached to the metal surface. Above him, if up meant anything in space, the stars stretched forever. Below him, the solar panel he was repairing flickered with weak energy. He worked slowly, carefully. Each wire mattered. Each connection had to be perfect. Out here, one mistake meant death. He was 38 years old. He had lived on this station for 20 years, alone. Well, not completely alone. The voice came through his helmet speaker, soft, feminine, artificial. "Damon, you should come inside. The radiation levels are rising." 5 more minutes, Iris," he said. "This panel needs to work. Winter is coming." "Winter is not a real season in space," Iris replied. The AI had been his only companion for 2 decades. She had learned his humor. She had learned his moods. Sometimes he forgot she was not real. "You know what I mean?" Tae-min said, smiling inside his helmet. "The cold period, when we drift farther from the star." "I know," Iris said. "I was making a joke." He finished the repair and looked out at the stars one more time. Somewhere out there, humanity had died. The species that built this station, that sent ships across galaxies, that dreamed of touching every star. Gone. All of them. Except him. Tae-min didn't like to think about that day. The day the evacuation ships left without him. The day he was trapped in a maintenance tunnel while everyone else escaped. The day he became the last human alive. He pushed the memory away and started walking back to the airlock. That's when Iris spoke again. Her voice was different now. Alert, worried. "Tae-min, we have a problem." "What kind of problem?" "A ship. Coming this way, fast." Tae-min's heart jumped. A ship, the first ship in 20 years. He ran to the airlock, suddenly not caring about the radiation. Inside, he pulled off his helmet and rushed to the control room. The screen showed a vessel approaching. It was sleek, dark, covered in weapons. "Alien design," Iris said. "Vrin Collective." Tae-min knew about the Vrin. He had listened to their broadcasts for years. They were reptilian, advanced, powerful. They had built an empire while humanity fell. And they thought humans were extinct, primitive, weak. "What do they want?" he whispered. "Unknown. But they are docking, forcefully." The station shook. Metal screamed against metal. Tae-min heard the docking clamps engage. Someone was coming inside. He thought about hiding. He thought about fighting. But he was one man with no weapons. Instead, he did something that felt very human. He made tea. When the airlock opened, he was sitting in his workshop, a cup of hot tea in his hands. The room was clean, organized. Tools hung on the walls. Machines hummed quietly. Everything was neat and peaceful. The visitor stepped through the door. She was tall, taller than any human. Her skin had a slight green tint, smooth and scaled. Her eyes were golden, sharp, intelligent. She wore armor that looked both elegant and deadly. In her hands, she carried a weapon that hummed with energy. She stared at him. He stared back. Then Tae-min spoke in perfect Vrin language. "Would you like some tea?" The alien woman froze. Her weapon lowered slightly. "You speak our language." "I've had a lot of time to learn," Tae-min said. 20 years of listening to your broadcasts. You have very educational programming." She didn't smile. Vrin didn't smile the way humans did. But something in her posture changed. She lowered her weapon completely. "You are human." "The last one, I think," he said quietly. "I am Parkana," she said. "Elite warrior of the Vrin Collective. I was sent to find you." "Why?" Tae-min asked. He sipped his tea, trying to look calm. Inside his mind was racing. Hana stepped closer. Her golden eyes studied him carefully. "Our civilization is dying. Our technology is failing. We discovered that humans had knowledge we need. Engineering solutions we cannot recreate." "You are an engineer, are you not?" "I am," he admitted. "Then you will help us. You will share your knowledge. Or we will take it by force." Tae-min set down his tea. He looked at her carefully. Really looked at her. He noticed things. The way she stood, slightly favoring her left side. The way her breathing was not quite steady. The faint flicker of energy beneath her armor, right over her heart. And he saw something else, pain. Hidden but there. "I will not help you," he said softly. Her hand moved to her weapon. "Then you are foolish. We can force you. You can try, Taemin said, but knowledge taken by force is useless. A forced engineer makes mistakes. Bad mistakes. Deadly mistakes. Is your civilization desperate enough to risk that? Hana said nothing, but he saw the truth in her eyes. They were desperate. Truly desperate. However, Taemin continued, I will make you an offer. I will help you if you answer one question honestly. What question? He pointed at her chest. How long have you had that heart implant? And how long do your doctors give you to live? The color drained from Hana's face. Her hand moved to her chest, an unconscious gesture. How did you... I can see the energy signature, Taemin said gently. Your implant is failing. The rhythm is wrong. Too stiff, not adapting to your body. I would guess you have maybe 6 months. Maybe less. Hana stood very still. When she spoke, her voice was tight, controlled. 5 months. They gave me 5 months. But that is not relevant to my mission. It's relevant to me, Taemin said. He stood up slowly, keeping his hands visible, non-threatening. Let me examine your implant. Not as a trade, not as a bargaining chip. Just because every life is worth saving, that's what humans believed. It's what I still believe. Hana stared at him for a long time. He could see the conflict in her eyes. Pride, suspicion, but also hope. Desperate, fragile hope. Finally, she spoke. Why would you help me? You don't know me. My people came here to threaten you. Taemin smiled. It was a sad smile. A lonely smile. Because I've been alone for 20 years. Because you're the first living person I've spoken to in 2 decades. And because helping people is what engineers do. We fix things. We make things better. That includes hearts. Hana's weapon lowered completely. She holstered it. Then slowly she nodded. Examine my heart, she said. But know this. If you harm me, my ship will destroy the station. I understand, Taemin said. Iris, prepare the medical bay. Already done, the AI replied cheerfully. As Hana followed him down the corridor, Taemin felt something he hadn't felt in years. Purpose. And something else, too. Something warm and terrifying. Hope. The last human wasn't quite so alone anymore. The medical bay was not impressive. Hana had expected advanced technology, gleaming equipment, sterile perfection. Instead, she found a room filled with mixed equipment. Some pieces were human-made, old but well-maintained. Others were clearly alien technology, taken apart and put back together in strange new ways. Taemin moved through the space like it was part of him. He touched each machine gently, checking connections, powering up systems. Lie down on the table, he said. This will take some time. Hana hesitated. Lying down meant being vulnerable. It meant trusting this human she had just met. But the pain in her chest was growing. It was always there now, a constant reminder of death approaching. She removed her armor piece by piece. Without it, she felt naked, weak. The medical table was cold against her back. Above her, scanning equipment hummed to life. Lights moved across her body, reading, analyzing, searching. Taemin studied the screens. His face was focused, serious. Tell me about the injury, he said. How did you get the implant? Hana stared at the ceiling. 5 years ago, a battle. An explosion damaged my original heart. The doctor said I was lucky to survive. They gave me this implant. The best Vrin technology. The best technology, Taemin repeated. He touched the screen, zooming in on something. And did it work well at first? Yes. For 3 years it was perfect. I felt normal, strong. Then it started to fail, slowly at first, now faster every day. Taemin nodded. I thought so. Hana, your doctors are excellent at making perfect machines. But they forgot something important. What? You're not a machine. You're alive. Living things change. They grow. They adapt. Your body has been changing for 5 years, but your implant stayed exactly the same. Perfect and unchanging. Now, the mismatch is killing you. Hana felt cold. My doctors said the same thing. They said there's no solution. The implant cannot adapt and building a new one would take too long. I would die before it was ready. Your doctors think like Vrin, Taemin said. He was smiling now. not a cruel smile, a gentle, knowing smile. They want perfect solutions. Humans learned something different. We learned to accept imperfection, to build things that can fail gracefully and fix themselves. Can you fix it? Hana's voice was barely a whisper. She hated how desperate she sounded. I can add a layer, Taemin said. A buffer between your body and the implant. It will learn your rhythms. It will adapt as you change. Think of it like a translator. Your body speaks one language, the implant speaks another. I'll give you something that speaks both. Hope bloomed in Hana's chest, painful and bright. How long will it take? 3 weeks to build the first layer, then installation, then monitoring. You'll need to stay here, on the station. 3 weeks. Hana thought about her orders. She was supposed to bring the human back immediately, or at least send proof she had found him. But if she left now, she would die. The choice was simple. Stay and live, or leave and die. I'll stay, she said. Taemin nodded. Good. Now I need to contact your ship, tell them you're safe, that you'll be here for a while. They won't like it, Hana said. Probably not, Taemin agreed. But it's the truth. And truth is better than lies, even when it's uncomfortable. The first week was strange. Hana had never lived on a human station before. Everything was different. The temperature was warmer than she liked. The food synthesizer produced meals that tasted wrong. The gravity felt slightly off. She spent most of her time in the small guest quarters Taemin prepared for her, uncomfortable and alone. But Taemin was patient. He brought her food from his own supplies. He adjusted the temperature in her room. He taught her how to use the human systems. Slowly, the station began to feel less alien. And he talked to her about small things, about his work, about the stars, about the books he had read during his long isolation. Hana found herself talking back, telling him about her world, her people, her life as a warrior. One evening she found him in the observation deck. He was staring out at the stars, a cup of tea in his hands. She had learned he always drank tea. It seemed to calm him. Do you miss them? She asked. Other humans? Taemin was quiet for a long moment. Every day, he finally said. But the pain gets smaller with time, quieter. It never goes away, but you learn to carry it. I think I understand, Hana said. She touched her chest. This pain. I've been carrying it for years now. At first it was all I could think about. Now it's just there. Not for much longer, Taemin said. The buffer layer is almost ready. We'll install it tomorrow. Fear shot through Hana. Tomorrow? So soon? Are you afraid? He asked gently. Yes, she admitted. Warriors didn't usually admit fear, but with Taemin, honesty felt natural. What if it doesn't work? What if I die on your table? Then I will have failed, Taemin said. But I won't fail. I've checked everything 3 times, 4 times. The design is sound, trust me. I do, Hana said, and she realized it was true. She trusted this human she had known for only 2 weeks. This man who had every reason to hate her people. This engineer who worked with gentle hands and spoke with quiet kindness. The next day, she lay on the medical table again. This time, the fear was real and sharp. Taemin would have to cut into her chest. He would work on her heart while she was awake. The pain would be terrible, but it was the only way. I need you conscious, Taemin explained. I need to monitor your responses in real time. Iris will help manage the pain, but you'll feel everything. I'm ready, Hana said. She wasn't ready, but she had no choice. The first cut was fire. The second was ice. The third was something beyond pain, beyond description. Hana gripped the edges of the table, her claws leaving marks in the metal. She wanted to scream. She wanted to beg him to stop, but Taemin was talking. His voice was steady, calm, continuous. He told her about his childhood, about his parents who were engineers like him, about the day he got trapped in the maintenance tunnel, about the 20 years he spent learning, growing, surviving. His voice became an anchor, something to hold on to while her body screamed. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like days. But finally, he said the words she needed to hear. It's done. The pain faded slowly. Iris released medication into her system. The wounds began to close, accelerated by Vryn healing technology Taemin had learned to use. Hana lay still, breathing carefully. And then she felt it. Her heart. Beating. Steady. Strong. For the first time in years, there was no dissonance, no grinding sensation, no wrongness, just a heartbeat. Simple. Perfect. Alive. Tears ran down her face. She didn't try to stop them. Vryn warriors didn't cry. But Hana wasn't just a warrior anymore. She was someone who had been saved. Someone who had been given a future she thought was lost forever. Taemin sat beside her. He didn't say anything. He just sat there, patient and present. When she finally found her voice, Hana asked the question that had been burning in her mind. Why did you help me? My people came here to use you, to take your knowledge by force. Why would you save the life of your enemy? Taemin looked at her with those gentle human eyes. Because you're not my enemy. You're a person, a living being who needed help. That's all that matters. Not what your leaders want. Not what your empire plans. Just you. Just this moment. Just one life worth saving. Hana closed her eyes. Something inside her was changing. Something deeper than her heart. For the first time in her life, she understood what humans had been. Not primitive, not weak, but wise in ways the Vryn had never learned, and she knew with absolute certainty that she could never let her people hurt this man. No matter what it cost her. 3 weeks became 4. 4 became 5. Hana's heart grew stronger every day. The adaptive layer learned her rhythms, adjusted to her movements, responded to her emotions. She felt healthier than she had in years. Strong, alive, free. But her mission weighed on her mind. Every day she received messages from Admiral Yoon. Every day his tone grew more urgent, more angry. The decay was spreading through Vryn systems. Ships were failing. Power grids were collapsing. People were dying. She couldn't ignore it forever. One evening she found Taemin in his workshop. He was surrounded by holographic displays, studying something complex. She recognized some of the patterns. Vryn technology. They're failing systems. You're studying the decay, she said. Taemin looked up. You sent me the data last week. I've been analyzing it. And? Hana held her breath. If anyone could find a solution, it was him. It's the same problem, Taemin said. He pulled up a comparison. On one side, a diagram of Hana's heart. On the other, a map of Vryn infrastructure. The patterns were identical. Your civilization built perfect systems. No redundancy. No room for error. No ability to adapt. When conditions changed even slightly, everything began to fail. Can you fix it? Hana asked. The same way I fixed your heart, Taemin said. Add adaptive layers. Teach the systems to fail gracefully. Give them room to breathe and change. It won't be quick. It will take coordination across your entire empire, but yes, I can fix it. Hope and dread mixed in Hana's chest. Hope because her people could be saved. Dread because she knew what would happen next. You'll have to come with me. To Vryn Prime, to teach our engineers. Taemin nodded slowly. I know. This station is your home, Hana said. It's all you have left of humanity. If I leave, I might never come back, Taemin finished. I know, but billions of lives are at stake. How can I stay here safe and alone while an entire civilization dies? That's not what humans did. We helped, even when it was hard. Even when it cost us everything. Hana felt something break inside her. This man was willing to sacrifice everything for people who had threatened him. For a civilization that considered his species extinct and primitive, the kindness, the selflessness was almost painful to witness. I'll protect you, she said. The words came out fierce, almost violent. I won't let them hurt you. I won't let them use you, Taemin smiled. I know you will. They spent the next week preparing. Taemin compiled his knowledge into formats the Vryn could understand. He created training programs. He designed implementation strategies. Every detail was planned carefully, thoroughly, and in the evenings they talked. About everything. About nothing. Hana taught him Vryn combat forms. He showed her how to cook human food using the station's old recipes. They shared stories from their cultures, poetry, songs, dreams. One night, Hana realized something that terrified her. She had fallen in love with him. It wasn't just gratitude. It wasn't just admiration. It was deeper, warmer, more complete. She loved his gentle hands and sharp mind. She loved his quiet humor and endless patience. She loved the way he looked at stars like they were old friends. She loved everything about him, and that made everything more dangerous because she knew Admiral Yoon. She knew how the Vryn military worked. They wouldn't treat Taemin as a partner. They would treat him as a resource, a tool to be used and discarded. She contacted her old mentor, Commander Bay. He was one of the few Vryn she truly trusted. When his face appeared on the screen, she saw immediately that he looked worried. "Hana," he said, "the Admiral is losing patience. He wants results now." "I have results," Hana said. "The human has found a solution. He's willing to help, but he has conditions." She outlined Taemin's terms. He would come to Vryn Prime, he would teach their engineers, but he wanted respect, partnership, protection, and he wanted Hana to remain his liaison, his guarantee of safety. Commander Bay listened carefully. When she finished, he was quiet for a long moment. "Hana," he finally said, "you know they won't honor those terms." Her blood went cold. "What do you mean?" "Dr. Nara has been pushing for forceful extraction. She wants to scan his mind, take the knowledge directly. The Admiral is considering it." Horror flooded through Hana. Neural scanning was dangerous, painful, and for a human, with their different brain structure, it could be fatal. "They can't," she said. "He's coming willingly. He's offering to help." "They see him as the last source of human knowledge," Commander Bay said. "They're afraid if they don't take everything now, it will be lost forever. They don't care about his consent. They only care about survival." "Then I won't bring him," Hana said. "They'll send a fleet," Commander Bay warned. "They'll take him by force." "Hana, you know they will. But I'm telling you this because you're like a daughter to me. Be careful. Think about what you're willing to sacrifice." The transmission ended. Hana sat in the darkness, her newly healed heart pounding. She had a choice. Betray Taemin and save her people, or protect Taemin and watch billions die. She found him in the observation deck. He was looking at the stars again, peaceful and unaware. When he heard her approach, he turned and smiled. That gentle, kind smile that had come to mean everything to her. "I spoke to my mentor," Hana said. Her voice was shaking. "Taemin, they're not going to honor your terms. They plan to take your knowledge by force, to scan your mind. It might kill you." Taemin didn't look surprised. "I suspected as much." "You suspected?" Hana stared at him. "Then why did you agree to go?" "Because I believe in you," Taemin said simply. "Not in your Admiral, not in your empire, in you. I believe you'll find a way to do what's right." Tears burned in Hana's eyes. "What if I can't? What if the only choice is between you and billions of innocent people?" Taemin stepped closer. He reached out slowly, giving her time to pull away. When she didn't, he touched her face. His hand was warm, human, alive. "Then you choose life," he said. "All life. Not just mine. Not just theirs. You find the path that saves everyone. That's what leaders do. That's what heroes do." "I'm not a hero," Hana whispered. "You're my hero," Taemin said. "You came here expecting a primitive savage. Instead, you found a person. You were ordered to take what you needed. Instead, you stayed. You learned, you grew. You changed your mind when you found evidence that contradicted your beliefs. That takes courage. Real courage. The kind that changes worlds." Hana couldn't hold back anymore. She pulled him close, holding him tight. He held her back, steady and warm. Two people from different species, different worlds, different histories. But in that moment, they were just two souls who had found each other in the darkness. "I won't let them hurt you," Hana said into his shoulder. "I don't care what it costs. I won't let them." "I know," Taemin said. "But you also won't let billions die. So we'll find another way. Together." They stood there for a long time, holding each other while the stars turned overhead. Neither knew what the future held. Neither knew if they would survive what was coming. But they knew they would face it together. And sometimes that was enough. The transport ship arrived 3 days later. It was larger than Hana's scout vessel, heavily armed, carrying diplomatic markings. But Hana knew better. This was not a diplomatic mission. This was an extraction. Admiral Yoon's face appeared on the screen. He looked tired, desperate. Officer Park Hana, you have done well. Prepare the human for transport. We leave within the hour. Admiral, Hana said carefully, the human has agreed to help. But he has conditions. We must respect them if we want his full cooperation. His conditions are noted, the Admiral said. His tone was flat, empty. They will be honored. It was a lie. Hana could hear it in his voice, see it in his eyes. But what could she do? Refuse fight? She was one soldier against an empire. Taemin stood beside her, calm and ready. He had packed very little. A small bag with personal items, a data drive with his work, the clothes on his back. Iris, he said to the air, take care of the station. I'll be back soon. I will wait for you, Iris replied. Her voice sounded sad. Be safe, Taemin. They boarded the transport. The interior was cold, sterile, military. Frin soldiers watched them with hard eyes. Dr. Nara was there too, a tall woman with scales the color of deep ocean. She studied Taemin like he was an interesting specimen. Not a person. A thing. So this is the last human, she said. Smaller than I expected. Weaker looking. Looks can be deceiving, Taemin said pleasantly. He spoke perfect Vrin, which seemed to annoy her. The journey to Vrin Prime took 6 hours. For the first 3 hours, everything seemed normal. Taemin was given quarters, food, respect. Hana started to hope she had been wrong. Maybe the Admiral would honor his word after all. Then Dr. Nara came to their quarters. With guards. Armed guards. There has been a change of plans, she announced. The human will undergo immediate neural scanning. We cannot risk delays. The decay accelerates every day. Hana stepped between them and Taemin. No, we had an agreement. He comes willingly. He teaches our engineers. You don't scan him. The agreement is void, Dr. Nara said coldly. Admiral's orders. Step aside, Officer Park. No, Hana said. Her hand moved to her weapon. The guards raised their rifles. 4 against 1. Hana's chances were not good. But she didn't move. Didn't lower her hand. If they wanted Taemin, they would have to go through her. Hana, Taemin said quietly. It's okay. It's not okay, she said. This is wrong. This is betrayal. Officer Park, Dr. Nara said. You are relieved of duty. You will be confined to quarters until we reach Vrin Prime. Then you will face military tribunal for insubordination. Admiral Yoon appeared on the wall screen. He looked at Hana with something that might have been pity. I'm sorry, Officer Park, but billions of lives are at stake. One human's rights do not outweigh the survival of our entire civilization. Sometimes we must do terrible things for the greater good. If you do terrible things, you become terrible, Hana said. My people taught me that a civilization built on cruelty deserves to fall. Your people are wrong, the Admiral said. Guards, detain them both, Hana fought. She was fast, trained, deadly. She dropped the first guard with a strike to the throat, the second with a kick to the knee. But there were too many. They swarmed her, pinned her, forced her to the ground. She watched helplessly as they took Taemin away. He didn't fight, didn't resist. He just looked back at her as they dragged him to the medical bay. And he smiled. That gentle, understanding smile, like he was telling her it was okay, like he forgave her, but it wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. They threw her in a cell, small, bare, locked. She paced like a caged animal. Her heart, the one Taemin had fixed, pounded strong and angry. Hours passed. She tried the door, tried the walls, tried everything. Nothing worked. Then Commander Bay appeared at the cell door. He looked grim, determined. Hana, he said quietly, I'm getting you out. What? I said I'm getting you out. And the human, this is wrong. What the Admiral is doing, what Dr. Nara wants, it's wrong. A civilization that survives by torturing innocents is not worth saving. He unlocked the cell. Outside, 3 other officers waited. All of them looked nervous but determined. We're with you, one said. Commander Bay convinced us. This is not the Vrin way. This is not honorable. The human is in Medical Bay 3, Commander Bay said. They're preparing him for the neural scan now. We have maybe 5 minutes before it starts. After that, the damage to his brain will be permanent. Hana ran. Down corridors. Through checkpoints. The rebels with her fought off guards, created distractions, cleared the path. She burst into the medical bay just as Dr. Nara was lowering the neural scanner toward Taemin's head. "Stop!" Hana shouted. Dr. Nara spun around. Guards moved to intercept. But Hana was faster. She grabbed a medical tool from a nearby tray and threw it at the neural scanner. The device sparked and died. "Ruined. You fool," Dr. Nara hissed. "You've doomed us all." "No," Hana said. "You doomed yourself by forgetting what honor means." She freed Taemin from the restraints. He was groggy from sedatives but alive, unharmed. She pulled him to his feet, supporting his weight. "Can you walk?" "I can run if I need to," he said, though his legs were shaking. They ran. The rebels covered their escape, fighting their own people to buy time. Commander Bay led them to a small escape shuttle. "Go," he said. "Back to the human station. I'll buy you as much time as I can." "Come with us," Hana said. "I can't. Someone needs to stay and fight this from within. Someone needs to remind our people what honor means. Go, protect him. Find another way to save us. I believe in you." The shuttle launched. Behind them, alarms screamed. Ships began pursuing, but Hana was a good pilot. Better than good. Excellent. She weaved through fire, dodged missiles, pushed the engines past safety limits. They made the jump to faster-than-light travel just as the first missile exploded behind them. In the sudden quiet, Hana finally allowed herself to breathe. "Thank you," Taemin said. He was slumped in the co-pilot seat, still fighting off the sedatives. "You saved me." "You saved me first," Hana said. "I'm just returning the favor." "What now?" he asked. Hana looked at the stars ahead, at the path back to Prometheus Echo, back to safety. But safety wasn't enough. Not anymore. "Now," she said, "we find another way. A better way. One that doesn't require torture or betrayal. One that saves everyone." "Is that possible?" Taemin asked. "I don't know," Hana admitted. "But if anyone can find it, it's you. The last human engineer. The man who fixes impossible things." Taemin reached over and took her hand. "Not alone," he said. "We find it together." Behind them, a fleet was forming. Admiral Yoon would not give up easily. The hunt was just beginning. But for the first time in her life, Hana was not afraid. She had found something worth fighting for, something worth more than empires or civilizations. She had found love and hope and the belief that there was always another way. All they had to do was find it. The fleet arrived at Prometheus Echo 2 days later. 20 ships, maybe more. They surrounded the station like a metal fist. Hana watched them on the screens, her heart sinking. There was no escape, no way to fight. They were trapped. Admiral Yoon's voice came through the communication system. "Officer Park Hana, human engineer. You are surrounded. Surrender immediately or we will destroy the station." Hana looked at Taemin. He was calm, too calm. "What do we do?" she asked. "We change the game," Taemin said. He was sitting at his workshop terminal, fingers flying across the keys. Iris's voice hummed in the background, helping him with whatever he was doing. "What are you doing?" Hana asked. "Something humans were always good at," Taemin said. "Sharing knowledge, freely, openly, without conditions." He activated the station's communication array, the old system, built to broadcast across vast distances. He boosted the signal, amplified it, and sent it everywhere, to every Vryn ship, to every Vryn world, to every corner of the Empire. "People of the Vryn Collective," Taemin said. His voice was steady, clear. "My name is Kang Taemin. I am the last human engineer. Your leaders came to me asking for help. I agreed, but they betrayed their promise. They tried to take my knowledge by force, to scan my mind and leave me damaged or dead." Hana heard shouting from the fleet's communication channels, the Admiral ordering him to stop, Dr. Nara demanding they jam the signal, but it was too late. The broadcast was already spreading. "I understand why they did this," Taemin continued. "You are desperate. Your civilization is dying. The decay spreads through your systems, destroying everything you have built, and you thought the only way to save yourselves was to take what you needed from me." He paused. When he spoke again, his voice was warmer, kinder. "But you were wrong. Not about needing help. You do need help, but you were wrong about how to get it. Knowledge taken by force is useless. Cooperation built on lies always fails. My people learned this lesson the hard way. Now I'm going to teach you what we learned." Taemin began uploading data. Everything. The complete solution to the decay. Every technical detail. every implementation strategy, every piece of knowledge he had gathered over 20 years of study. He gave it all away, freely, openly. This is how you fix your systems, he explained. You add adaptive layers. You teach your machines to fail gracefully. You build in redundancy and flexibility. You stop demanding perfection and start accepting growth, change, evolution. On the fleet ships, engineers were already studying the data. Hana could hear their excited voices on the open channels. It was working. The solution was real, complete, perfect. But I'm giving you more than just technical knowledge, Tamian said. I'm giving you a philosophy, a way of thinking. Humans survived not because we were stronger or smarter than other species. We survived because we adapted, because we helped each other, because we believed that every life had value, not just human lives. All lives. His voice grew stronger, more passionate. Your civilization is dying because you built it on perfection, on rigid systems that couldn't change, on the belief that strength means never showing weakness. But you're wrong. Real strength is admitting you need help. Real power is in cooperation. Real wisdom is knowing when to trust instead of take. Hana watched the screens. She saw something happening on the fleet ships. Engineers were implementing the solution. Right there, right now, they were adding the adaptive layers to their own ship systems. Testing, verifying. And it was working. The decay was stopping, reversing. One voice came through the channel. A young engineer. It works. By the ancestors, it actually works. Our systems are stabilizing. The decay is reversing. He saved us. The human saved us. More voices joined in. Wonder, relief, gratitude. The mood on the fleet was changing, shifting. Hana heard Admiral Yoon trying to give orders, but no one was listening anymore. They were too busy celebrating, too busy implementing the solution, too busy being saved. Admiral Yoon, Taman said, addressing him directly now, I have given you everything. The complete solution, freely, no conditions, no demands, no payment required. This is what humans did. We shared, we helped. We lifted others up instead of pushing them down. Silence. Then the Admiral's voice, quieter now, different. Why? We threatened you, betrayed you, tried to harm you. Why would you help us after all that? Because I met Hana, Taman said simply. He looked at her and she saw everything in his eyes. Love, trust, hope. She showed me that the Vryn are not your government. You are individuals, people. Some of you are honorable, like Commander Bay, who risked everything to do what was right. Some of you are brave, like the rebels who helped us escape. And some of you just need to be reminded what honor means. He smiled. I don't help empires. I don't save governments. I help people. All people. Because every life is worth saving. That's what humanity believed. That's what I still believe. And if I'm truly the last human, then this is my final gift to the galaxy. The knowledge that kindness is stronger than cruelty. That cooperation beats coercion. That love wins. The broadcast ended. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then Commander Bay's voice came through. Admiral Yoon, the solution works. We're implementing it fleet-wide. Sir, the human has given us everything we needed, freely. He's asking for nothing in return. We owe him a debt we can never repay. I know, the Admiral said. He sounded tired, old, ashamed. Human engineer. I apologize. For my betrayal. For my cruelty. For my desperation. You have shown us a better way. Will you forgive us? Taman thought for a moment. Then he said, I will forgive you if you promise to learn, to grow, to be better. Not for me, for yourselves. For your people. For the future. I promise, Admiral Yoon said. And I offer you this. Come to Vryn Prime, not as a prisoner, as a teacher, a partner, an honored guest. Help us implement this solution properly. Teach our engineers not just the technical details, but the philosophy behind it. Stay as long as you wish. Leave whenever you want. You have my word. My true word this time. Taman looked at Hana. She nodded. I trust him now, she said. He's been humbled, changed. He'll keep his word. Then I accept, Taman said. The next 6 months passed like a dream. Taman went to Vryn Prime and established what he called the Human Legacy Institute. He trained thousands of engineers. He taught them not just technology but philosophy, the importance of flexibility, the value of imperfection, the power of kindness. Hana worked beside him every day, She translated his words, explained his concepts, and helped bridge the gap between human and Vryn thinking. They were partners in every way, professional, personal, inseparable. The decay reversed across the entire empire. Systems stabilized, technology improved. But more than that, the culture began to change. The Vryn started to value cooperation over competition, flexibility over rigidity, kindness over cruelty. They were learning, growing, evolving. One evening, Taimin and Hana stood on the observation deck of Prometheus Echo. They had returned to complete the final upgrade to her heart. The last layer, the one that would make her implant truly permanent. Truly alive, how does it feel? Taimin asked. Hana put her hand over her chest. Her heart beat strong and steady. Perfect. Like I'm truly alive for the first time, she said. Like everything before was just waiting, preparing, and now finally I can begin. Begin what? Taimin asked. Living, Hana said. She took his hand. With you. Building a future together. You're not the last human anymore, Taimin. You're the first human of a new age. The age where humans and Vryn work together. Learn together. Love together, Taimin smiled. That gentle, beautiful smile she had come to love so much. I like that, he said. Not an ending. A beginning. They stood together watching the stars. Two people from different worlds. Different species. Different histories. But the same in all the ways that mattered. They had both been dying. He from loneliness. She from her failing heart. And they had saved each other. Not with force. Not with demands. But with kindness, understanding, love. Iris, Taimin said to the air. Play that song. The one about hope? Of course, Iris replied. Music filled the observation deck. Old human music. Beautiful and sad and hopeful all at once. Hana leaned against Taimin's shoulder. He wrapped his arm around her. And they stood there, two hearts beating in rhythm, while the stars turned overhead and the future stretched before them like an open road. Humanity was gone, but humans had left something behind. Not just technology, not just knowledge, but wisdom, the understanding that the strongest civilizations are built on kindness, that the greatest power is in helping others, that love in the end conquers all. And as long as one person remembered that lesson and taught it to others, humanity would never truly die. It would live on. In every adaptive system. In every act of kindness. In every choice to help instead of harm. In every heart that learned to beat in rhythm with another. The last human engineer had fixed more than machines. He had fixed hearts. He had fixed civilizations. He had fixed the future. And in the process he had discovered that he was not alone after all. He never had been. Love was there all along, waiting to be found. The universe was vast and dark and cold. But in one small corner on one old station, two people stood together and proved that light still existed. That hope still lived. That love still mattered, and that was enough.